Hi, I'm Corbin Chase. Welcome to Spiritual Health Expert Podcast. There is a holistic and spiritual remedy for everything. On this podcast, we talk with experts from various fields of life, health, and healing who prioritize integrative and spiritual approaches to wholeness and happiness. Let's talk about it. I'm here with Alex, my partner. He is my co-host tonight, and it is 2024 New Year's Eve. Woohoo!
Woo!
We have had our daughters for the past, what feels like 2 weeks straight without school. And they just went to their dad's. And we did not have it in us to have any sorts of plans. So we are having a whole food slice of pizza and are making really bitter cosmopolitans.
Oh, yeah. Got pizza toasting, cocktails cocktailing.
We did a transfer of the kids at like 10:15 this morning. And since then, Alex and I, so when we have the kids, we both have our own businesses. So when we're not working, we don't get paid, which is very different from the corporate America luxury where you're on a salary. So we've had the kids, have not been working much, have not been doing any of the house projects that we need to do, but have had a bunch of amazing time with the kids. But when they left, we were like, all right, we're going to have a really productive day today. We took the ornaments off the tree, put away the Christmas tree. We vacuumed, took off all of the decorations outside, all the lights. We hung up and cut and seasoned one of our wood pieces of Christmas presents. We hung up pictures that we've been putting off. Alex built a handmade records holder.
Oh, yeah, for the vinyls.
And he handmade a wood base for the sauna. So in the event of some sort of flood again,
Yes.
the sauna does not mold. What else?
Oh, my gosh.
I worked out.
I thought about working out.
You watch the kids so I can work out. It's hard.
It is hard. It is hard. I've been finding that. There's so many things that I want to do, that we want to do, that like... You're right. If I don't do it first thing in the morning, it's not getting done.
We also lost our dog.
Oh, my God.
Who we found like way down the road. And then all day we were like, okay, it's also my first day of my period and I wear period underwear. And sometimes like when they really get full of blood, it just smells like copper. Like it just does.
Yeah.
So like all day I was like, man, my period underwear smells so bad today. It's so gross. Wow. And I was like, Alex, come smell them because I feel like I really stink today. And then later, Alex, you said you like still smelled the smell elsewhere. And I was like, right? It smells like dead fish.
Yeah.
And then we found out that Gutsy, our dog, who ran away, rolled into some like dead animal carcass. Ugh. And she was the one smelling. So we had to deal with that too.
She is heavily overdue for a bath right now.
So I feel like... every New Year's Eve of my life so far has been disappointing in one way or another. But this year, I'm doing probably like the least amount of things, celebratory wise, of course. But it also feels like I really think like the most wholesome and best one yet because, Alex, you have been so attentive and willing to do anything that I wanted to do. You were like, you want to go out? Let's go out. I want to do something special for you. I'm going to go get steaks. I'll make steaks. I'll put garlic in the oven right now because we like roasted garlic on our steak. We'll go dance. We'll go do this. We'll go do that. And like just having someone paying attention to me like that and wanting to do something with me and for me is just everything. And so I'm so content here having our pizza and sour cosmos. Thank you.
I would travel to Sour Cosmos with you.
Well, that's what we're doing right now. So cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, but did you hear what I said though?
I did. I did. Thank you. I loved it. Honestly, I'm really glad you feel that way. This has honestly been a perfect New Year's. Every year there's so much pressure to do stuff, and I just want to do stuff with you. Whatever it is, whatever that makes us happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and right now I'm just so happy to be relaxing after a very busy time, busy holiday with my favorite person.
Speaking of favorite people,
mm-hmm.
We were just talking about before this and we were like, oh my God, we should we should turn this into a podcast. So I was talking to my sister earlier. Her name is Lucy. She and her boyfriend Trent, well, now they're fiancés. They just got engaged in Aspen. Yes. We went. It was amazing. They're like two of the best people I know. Lucy was like, so is Alex going to propose soon? And I was like, oh. And like I got divorced last year, and Alex and I kind of flew into things and all of this stuff. And it's been a very brave and bold, but also like, I don't care. It's my life process and like version of me that stepped forward. And I was like, you know what? What did I say to her?
Oh, you said we're just doing it.
Oh yeah, that's my response to everybody now.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, how's it going with you and Alex? And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, we're just doing it.
We're just doing
That's my response. And
Wait.
yeah, so like people naturally ask, like, Lucy, like, oh, is he gonna propose and all that stuff? And I'm like, I don't know. I think I said to her, I don't really care. I was like, I know we've like talked about it, but neither of us, like you and I, don't really resonate with just like the standard American like way of proposal and like how a wedding feels like a milestone and commitment in that way feels like a milestone.
Yeah.
That like the union, I think is the word I put it earlier. Yes. Like the union of a milestone. So what Alex and I have done, okay. We kind of were like, we're going to make this our own. I don't know what that looks like, but I know that like a big white wedding and all that stuff doesn't resonate with me. And that's not because, there's the pizza. And that's not because I've done the big white wedding before. It's truly because I've stepped into like a more, I think like authentic, mature version of myself. Like I'm more Corbin than I was then. And I really don't feel like that type of ceremony makes sense to me. Like it doesn't feel like my own. And so we've had these beautiful discussions about like, okay, but if there were no rules, how would we want our union to look? And it would be so much more spiritual and free and personal and like in nature than we could ever, whatever would be like socially acceptable, I suppose.
Yeah.
For like, the traditional societal norm.
Yeah.
And so what Alex and I have done like really early on, like months in, we got each other kind of like, I don't know, commitment bands. where we went on Etsy and we found antique rings within a more relatively inexpensive price range, but they're still gold and they're things that, something that we liked. They were used. It's nothing new, which I think is like really nice. And that was like it was our first gesture of like bringing our seriousness into materialism. You know, like we had connected spiritually, but it's like, I'm ready to wear something to honor our relationship. And this was like the first one. And so on the phone with Lucy, I was like, I kind of have this idea that Alex and I will every few years just like keep getting each other like somewhat of like a relatively like an affordable but like nice special ring. And then I have like a bunch throughout my life or however long we're together to pick which one of Alex's rings I want to wear today. That way the pursuing and the dating and like the union and the celebrating and the milestones or whatever, like they never stop. It's like it can just be like this continuously breathing thing where we can continue to like celebrate our union with like a material thing if we choose, but also just like that feels like us. When I was married before, my ex-husband and I, we got engaged, and then it was all about the wedding. Everyone was only asking about the wedding. And I feel like I never got to like really like wallow in the magic of the engagement. Like I was like, what does this mean? Oh, it means, and I was young though. Oh, it means wedding. Okay. And then the wedding stressed me out so much. I was sick on my wedding day, like all the time we spent planning, and the wedding happened. And I felt like I wasn't conscious for any of it because I was trying to perform, show up the way my parents wanted me to, the way anyway. And then I had this whole like downfall of like, oh my gosh, like now what? No one's, it was about everyone else and now it's about us again. And I struggled with that transition. And so then we got pregnant like 6 months later. And I don't think maybe that was like a direct result of that, but I think that was part of it. That was like, and I think that's part of society is like this milestone culture of like, there's a process, just like you go to college and then you meet someone and you get engaged and you get married. And then I was like, wait a second, where's me in all of this? And now with you, I get this like amazing opportunity to be like, all right, who am I in this? And how do I want to express? And how do you want to express? And how do we want to express together and create something that feels like us? And it's always for us. Like, us is our home base. And if I ever lose that home base, I at least have the awareness and the consciousness now to come back. Be like, okay, let me stand on our ground again that we've built and figure out where we want to go next and what feels good.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe every year, every couple of years or so, whenever we're feeling it, we're being in flow with the relationship. When we're feeling that like rebirth of growth within us, we celebrate it with a celebration of our union, you know, something that represents us, a new ring, a new band, a new
Whatever.
whatever it could be anything, but like
Or nothing.
You
just honor wherever we're at.
Yeah, it could literally be, it could just be like a very well written note or something like that. That is just like, you know, that says everything that I'm feeling in such a deep way, or that you're feeling in such a deep way that it's like a keepsake forever, you know, just like a wedding ring would be.
Writing like a keepsake letter feels so much more vulnerable than a ring.
Really?
Well, yeah. Yeah, oh my gosh, buying something material is easy.
That's true.
Writing a letter that I know you're going to keep forever and it's going to like hold weight forever.
Yeah.
Like, now that's a task.
Oh.
Like, I'd have to start with that. And really, I'd really work on that. You know?
Oh yeah, I'd go through like at least 18 drafts. Something like that would be so much more personal. Something that's just us pursuing each other, because I never want us to feel like, oh, okay, we've done the thing, now we're good. Now we do life. This is life.
I remember thinking when I was married to my ex-husband, or when we were planning on it, I was like, well, I was like, I know we don't have kids yet. I was like, I'd love for my kids to be here, you know? And now I want my kids to be around for like moments like that. And I don't want there just to be one. So like whenever we decide to like, I guess it would be like the equivalent of like renewing our vows or something like that, or just like celebrating our love, like a love celebration.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey kids, like Alex and I are doing a love celebration on this date. Like, this is important. Please come. Well, you know, whatever that'll look like, they'll get to be there and they'll be part of it. You know, it's more than just, it's you and I, but it's also like the family unit.
No, I love that. I love that.
And it can be that or not, but
yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. And I think that's so healthy. And I wonder if in other cultures they used to do that or still do that. I just don't know. I don't know. If you know, let us know. If you're listening, let us know. I'd love to learn more.
So earlier tonight, before we decided to turn this into a podcast, Corbin asked me, she was like, so are we dating? And I was like, yeah. Yeah. And
No,
I think
you
because
weren't. That's not what you said. You said, no, we're married.
That's right. That's right. That's right. But then I was like,
hold on. So Alex and I joke that we're spiritually married. Like, I am, like, whatever the equivalent of commitment that is in society, that is spiritually how I see you. I'm building my life with you. We just haven't done the damn thing.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, oh, yeah, we're spiritually married, but, you know,
it's everything.
We're just also, like, doing our thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's everything.
We're doing it. We're just doing it.
That's
why my answer is we're just doing it. Because I don't know what to say, but we're doing it, okay? Like, doing it all. And I'm happy, so...
That's all that matters.
Yeah. Like, leave me alone.
But you'd ask, you're like, so, like, are we dating? And I was like, no, we're married. And then we were like, oh, and then we were talking about the societal norms of dating, and it's like, all right, well, what's like the normal progression? And then
we were like, okay, the normal progression is you're seeing someone. You're talking to someone. You're seeing someone. You're dating someone. You're in a relationship. You're either engaged and or living with someone. That gets kind of funky.
Yeah.
And then you're married.
Yes.
And then you're dead. I'm kidding. Then I'm not sure. You just go into like this abyss of like a check mark.
Yeah, you're done. You're
and
good.
that sounds so boring to me.
Yes.
It makes me want to run away.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm like, I want to. That's what I don't want. I want. There's no point where we're ever going to be done. That's why so I told you, I was like, we are never not going to be dating.
Yeah.
I'm going to be dating you until the end of our days.
You said so much more. You said you're going to be pursuing me and you're going to be pursuing the happiness of our relationship.
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. I mean that's what I mean by dating. It's like I am always going to be trying to pursue our collective happiness. I'm going to be trying to pursue you romantically, for us to be growing together, like pursuing our collective growth.
Oh, I think that's so important because I think that's like one of the biggest underlying, I would even say intuitively, it's the biggest underlying issue that separates couples is they stop growing together, and even more specifically, they stop growing spiritually together. Because I think that's what happened with my ex-husband and I, is we stopped growing spiritually together,
Yeah.
and you truly, you become incompatible. You really, like, the way you view the world, the energy that you're living in, the things that you desire, the way you want to exist, everything on a foundational level starts shifting. And if you're not kind of moving in that direction together, it doesn't work. And then also, it's fine if it doesn't. Like, hoorah if you're spiritually outgrowing your partner, or what. It doesn't mean one's better than the other. It's just a beautiful awareness to have, and it's okay to say, thank you so much for this chapter. I love you, and with peace. Like, my soul is going to go this way and do these things now, but like, it's just one life. I'll see you when I die, and then again and again. Like, it's okay. And I don't mean to be like insensitive with how lighthearted that is, but I do think that you can be like that because life doesn't have to be that serious,
Yeah. Oh my God. Life does not have to be that serious.
Like, it's all going to be okay. And no one's ever gone or disappears. Like, it's okay to. I actually have quite a few friends that are going through a separation right now. And they've called me because I've done it and I've been through it. And I think, like, what I would consider, what feels like I've done it successfully and peacefully and with love. And my ex-husband and I, we have a great relationship. And we do. Like, I told my ex-husband, I was like, all right, you and I have had children. We are family forever. I see you as family. I will show up for you. You call me and you need help, I will be there. That's the kind of relationship that I want. The love never goes anywhere. It's just I don't want to live with you and progress through life with you with that level of intimacy anymore. I think, he definitely felt the same way. I told him, I was like, we have the same family, but we're implementing a new template. A template where we're still a family and we're just not living together anymore. We're two separate households, and there's room for other people to join the team of our family, the team of us and our kids, when chosen very carefully, and in alignment and like spiritually, especially from my end and all of those things.
Yeah.
And that approach, it works. There was a lot of concern from extended family of, oh no, the kids.
Yeah.
The kids. Oh, because like divorce has this dirty, murky, ugly, like meaning behind it. And I get it. Like, I've felt like I was wearing like a hat of shame with that, like it woven and out. But I also am like, why though? Like, I'm living my truth, and I feel like I'm the best, kindest, most loving version of myself yet, who's like actually doing good things in the world with like purpose and meaning. So I'm just separating from someone that I had a beautiful chapter with, and now we can move on. And the kids are like, every decision we made throughout the whole entire separation was all about like my home base within that situation. Just like we have a home base within our relationship. My home base within that situation was, what would be best for Alba and Rue? And I'm like, I need to make sure my heart is placed on that ground. And that's where every decision that would come through, and I would have like these surge of like feelings of like things I hadn't worked through yet with my marriage that was falling apart and all these things. I'd be like, I put my heart back on that ground that I had created, like that home base. And the decision always came out with love and light. And there was an element of like what was best for me as well, but it was always balanced with like I know that the kids are kind of like also at the center of this. And because of that, the outcome was we moved to a new place. We started living separately. We were like, all right, if we want to redate, we can try. We ended up not wanting to. We didn't even hire a lawyer. We got a what are they called?
Mediator?
Yeah, we hired a mediator, and the mediator was like, there's no extra fee. It's like literally just the retainer fee because you guys didn't argue over anything. And then our case went to court and the judge was like, this never happened. Who was your mediator? They did such a good job. And I was like, it's not the mediator, it's me. And my ex-husband, we are not the mediator. It's us. You're welcome. We've been doing great. Okay. God, I was a little insulted, but I still, just. And she was like, yeah, this never happens. This is a beautiful thing. You guys should be very grateful. And I'm also like, I am grateful, but I also have worked for this.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I've and so did, my ex-husband. So
hey, you guys created a template that works,
Yeah.
A new home base.
There's a spiritual tool. Where is your home base within any situation? Anything within work or a sibling. It's like, hold on, where's your ground going to be? So when you're spiraling and someone triggers you, you can place your heart on this ground, and that's your perspective. And you've seen it firsthand.
It's a whole other relationship you have to manage.
Yeah, I mean, I get to manage.
Yeah, that you get to manage.
Yeah, because it is like, yeah. It's not easy.
No.
But it's like, it's kind, supportive, loving. Like we have our things here and there. He and I both have agreed on the same home base, which is we can always agree on what's best for the kids.
Yeah, and you guys come together for the girls really well in that way. Like you have your domains, and each of you manages that very well. When someone needs a day, the other one takes it.
Yeah. Similarly, like as you become more spiritually mature, you learn to like, you truly, it just like pours out of you, like your desire to care for the collective. It like comes in all different shapes and sizes. Like everything that I do has an element of like, I want it to be for the greater good of like the entire collective of like the timeline of humanity. I want to contribute to that. That's where shopping local and like all those things come. But it also like there's also like the collective within like my family unit. And I have to figure out what's the best thing for my family unit. And there's obviously like a time to be like, no, like I know that for the collective family unit, I need a day to sit and have a chill day.
Yeah.
Because I run the show in a lot of areas. And if I am not up for it or I'm really burnt out and I don't listen, everyone starts falling apart. And just like if my ex-husband's having a bad day and he starts taking it on everyone has a bad day.
Yeah.
That's part of like being responsible, and like it's okay to take that time. So like what is the best thing to do for the collective of my family unit and everyone who's directly impacted by that? Yeah.
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 And that's you've got to be very vulnerable in order to do that. And be like, all right, look, I need some help.
I think that comes in stages, actually.
Yeah?
That's a good, because I think at the beginning I did feel vulnerable. Like that was the deconditioning I was going through, was like, oh, I feel like a failure because I have to ask for more help and I can't just do it all. Because I was raised by a do-it-all mom. And so now I am showing you my responsibility by letting you know and carefully selecting when I'm like, hey, I need pickup to be like a couple hours later, because I need some time to collect myself so I can show up as the best version of me, which I truly believe that my ex-husband and I would do anyway if we were still together, if we were well-regulated, emotionally educated, functioning adults independently and in a relationship.
Yeah.
And so now I'm learning that, and we still have a relationship just in a different way, So yeah, I don't think it's vulnerable anymore, but I think that was like a phase of that for sure.
Yeah, that's like where it started. So now it just feels a part of
Now it feels a part of my personal responsibility of taking care of myself, and how I started taking that seriously. My life really started to change. It's one of the things, truly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Radical personal responsibility.
No, that makes sense. Like in coming into this family unit, I've had to learn that myself. Like when I am having a difficult time, I need to communicate that. I can't just try and push through and hope for the best, you know? It's if you aren't kept up to date on like where I'm at in a situation, then we lose the same page, you know, and it doesn't bode well for the entire family unit.
Yeah. Do you like my hair?
I love your hair. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. You're gorgeous.
So if you've been keeping up with the other podcasts episodes, you know that after my separation from my ex-husband, I went through a really stressful period where I had a whole bunch of health issues for kind of like the first time in my life all at once. And one of those included losing like 70% of my hair. And so it's been growing back slowly. But I got my hair cut tonight, and whenever she blows it out, it looks so much like thicker and fuller. And I just don't want to let you forget to look at my hair. So
That's all I can't not see it.
that's good. That's good.
It's a number. Just stick my face in it.
Oh.
That's what I like to do.
All right.
Smell it. Feel it on my face.
That was a weird thing to do.
I do weird things. That's like...
I know, but that was too weird. I just heard our pizza ding in the oven like halfway through this thing, so we should probably go have our pizza. I like my pizza. Okay, my ideal pizza, which I don't even know if you know this, my ideal pizza is obviously like a locally made dough or homemade dough with locally made everything and cheese from a local farm and all that stuff. But like pizza that's been just not frozen. I just can't do frozen. Anyway, pizza, freshly made pizza, made with love, most important ingredient. But then it gets cold, and then I like to reheat it so the bottom is really crispy, you know?
Oh.
And I take a bite and it's like that's my crunch. And then I like crushed red pepper, and then I like a huge handful of fresh arugula with like a really like fine, like a nice olive oil on top. So, but you mean you know that.
Oh yeah.
So, but that's my favorite pizza. So we're gonna go do that. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
No pressure to do anything crazy.
Yeah.
Just find the love.
Yeah.
It's all around you. It's always in the present moment. Gosh, I want to do a whole podcast on that because that really landed for me today.
Let's go.
No. I want to eat our pizza.
I do want to eat our pizza
that really
too.
landed for me today of how I like everyone has been like you know when you hear the spiritual jargon where it's like all this stuff happened like blah 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 you're like yeah like I hear that and like sure it like kind of resonates as truth like I haven't really experienced that enough to be like I get it.
Yeah.
And then today like it really has been hitting me like kind of like recently it's been like a couple of days where I'm like I get this now, where it's like the gifts are always in the present moment. It's like I've kind of like dabbled in it for maybe like a year, and now I'm like, I fully 100% on board believe it, that if I'm able to be super present, I truly, like everything that I need is right here. Everything that I need. And that, oh my God, what it does to my nervous system, how relaxed I feel, but it does take time for that to settle in. Anyway, we should do a podcast about that because I that has been huge. Anyways, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Okay, you can stop it.
Okay. We should honestly, maybe we should have talked about New Year's. Like, I mean, we kind of did talk about New Year's plans a bit, but...
No, everyone's talking about that.